Hello and welcome to the next lecture. So we already used Java messaging queue or just the messaging queue previously with Artemis in a few lectures ago. In this lecture, we're going to use just the JMS to connect to our Artemis queue. So let's jump into it. So we have a default Now JMS. We create a project, and you have the QP ID. This is a special extension that's allows you to use a JMS. And let's create a project and open it in IntelliJ IDEA. It may happen that you already use or have a Docker running with Artemis. If not, so make sure that you have Docker up and running. And let's use this command to start our Artemis queue. This will load everything that's needed. And so while we add it, let's go to this resources here and put these 3 lines of code. Sorry, without this one. So we have a Quarkus QPID JMS URL. So we have this URL, and then we have a username and password, of course. So I think Docker should be running already. Yeah, so we have Artist console available. And let's start with the producer. Let's create a new class called Now. Let's say it will be price producer. So we'll have the same logic that we had previously with the producers. So we'll put a price every 5 seconds to something. So I'll have a new random. Let's create I think it should be like a field. We need to create a scheduled executor service, private final scheduled executor service equals executors new scheduled single thread executor service. Let's create a few more methods. So let's create a public void on start, and it will observe a startup event, and public void on stop, wherever observes shutdown event. So in these 2 methods, we'll start and shut down the service. So we can use a schedule that with fixed delay. The runnable will be this service implements runnable. So we'll have a run method here. So we can put this. So initial delay will be 0, and then delay will be 5, and the time unit will be seconds. So this will schedule our run method every 5 seconds, right? And on stop, we want to have a service shutdown. And that's it. I mean, not that's it, but for scheduling, we set up everything correctly. Now we can inject a connection factory. Factory like this. So now we can call a factory create context like this. And here we can specify session auto acknowledge. And we can use this with a try. Once it's done, we can close it. So we can put a try here with the, okay, try, there is no option here. Okay, so we can try, let's get a variable context here, and let's call it try like this, catch exception E. So now we can create a producer here, context create producer, and we can of course send something. In our case, we need to create a destination, so we can call destination. So here we'll need to call context create queue. So name will be in our case prices, right? And here we'll need to serialize it, so we can call. So here we'll send the message. It can be anything that you want. So in our case, we have a random, right? So we can call integer to string, and then we have a random next int with a bound to 100, for example, right? And that's it. So we send something random every 5 seconds to the prices. So nothing special here. And once we finish this method, the context will be automatically closed because of try with resources. So yeah, we can proceed to the consumer. So we'll create a price consumer. He'll do almost all the stuff the same. So we'll create application scope context, and we'll copy over some of the stuff like on start and stop. Actually, we'll need to have a different executor in this time, and that will be the private executor service executor equals new executors new single thread executor, like this. And let's actually copy over the factory as well. We don't need a random here, and we'll have private what will be integer last price, like this, and we'll create a getter for this thing as well. So let's have a last price, so you can get it from the when you inject the price consumer, right? You can get this last price. And so here we'll also implement runnable as always, like this, and in an event, so we'll call the executor service execute this, oops, and on shutdown we'll of course shut down the executor itself. So this is the structure prepared, right? And so now we can create a runnable. So here it will go the same way. We can actually copy over this try method from the producer, and after that we can get a context create consumer. So the destination in our case will be of course the same stuff that we used here. So this is context create queue prices, so we'll consume the prices itself. And so yeah, so we'll have a consumer that's same name consumer. So now we can create it while true to consume the messages. So now we can just call the consumer receive, right? So we'll have a message. So if a message will be null, if receive equals null, we can return, so after that we just get the price. So we can receive get body, and this class will be a string because we send a string class like this. So this will be an exception probably, of course. So we can add a catch clause like this, and so yeah, so body will be of course our last price, and we can actually can change it to string because why not, like this. And so so we can set the last price equals body like this. So, and actually yeah, we can line it. So yeah, so once we receive a message we get a body, and the body is the last price. And the last part that we need to do with it is of course the resource, sorry. So let's create a price resource, and this will be something default. So we'll have a path to the price, right? And we'll have a get method to produce media type, oops, not this one, media type text plain, right, or something like this. So public string get price, and we can inject our price consumer, inject price consumer, and so here we can just consumer get last price and return it. So nothing super exotic here. So from we get this price from the JMS once we receive an event, which will be produced by us as well. But this everything goes to through the Artemis. So we can actually start our app. We have a setup here, and everything looks like it's done correctly. So yeah, let's try to run it. Let's go to the terminal, and so yeah, I'll quit this part, and let's go to the JMS and then maven v Quarkus dev. So you need to run it from the created folder, of course. Don't forget about that. And we're starting our app. You can see that we started the MQP provider, and it also should consume as well. So let's go to the Postman, and let's go to the, what was that? I think prices, right? So we can go prices, get the prices, and nothing found, maybe price. Yeah, so you can see the price is 5 this time, 61 next query, and if we wait 5 seconds, you have a new price 59. You can see that it stays the same until we receive a price. I suggest you to use actually a reactive messaging that we've used previously, because it's more verbose, and you don't need to create these services like thread services and wrap something with a try and you know, produce a send, or like so with the reactive messaging it's more beautiful and more, so it will be more error prone. So yeah, now you know how to use the JMS directly. I'll see you in the next chapter. Thank you for watching.